Pat Nevin, good morning to you. What did happen to Liverpool in that final 10 minutes? Before we talk about how amazing they were, let's talk about how bad they were for those final 10 minutes. What do you think happened?
There's loads of things happened. I mean, just as Kev was saying there, it's absolutely extraordinary the pace at what Liverpool played at for a vast majority of that game. And then you looked at, the defending with Roma. Suddenly the defending was absolutely a joke. They were looking around at each other. Simple thing where they had three centre-backs. One of the centre-backs goes and tries to mark Salah. Centre-backs can't go and mark a winger. It doesn't work. And of course, as you mentioned there, Kolarov against Salah. Well, that's a mismatch at the moment as well. So they got it all wrong, Roma, at that point in time. And then you watch the way that Liverpool are playing the game and the pace that are playing the game at. And I'm thinking to myself, right, you're going to absolutely explode and you're going to be exhausted in about 5 minutes, after the half-time. And they kept on going, they kept on going, they kept on going. And then it took Salah off and just all the energy seemed to go. Now I don't know if it's Salah. I doubt it was Salah going off. What I think the problem was is you play at that tempo, even though you've got the whole of Anfield behind you. The noise was incredible. The spirit was great. They're human beings. I know they're footballers. I know they train hard, but they will tire. And you saw that they could not keep that high tempo stuff up for the whole 90 minutes, and that's why the game went back to 5-2.
Does it mean anything for the second leg other than Liverpool are really good and can actually easily get through this by scoring once or twice?
Obviously, they had that advantage against Manchester City, and they held on to it, and Man City couldn't come back. That's fine. That's good. That's very exciting for Liverpool. However, I was over in Seville when they were playing Seville. They were 3-0 up at half-time, and I was at utter collapse from Liverpool. So it's not beyond the bounds of possibility that this could be won. And remember, we're in the Champions League this season. Have a look what happened in Barcelona. Have a look. I was in Turin for the Juventus game against Real Madrid. 3-0 to Real Madrid, and you're thinking, well, that one's over. No, it wasn't. It was extraordinary. This Champions League this year is mad. And you add on top of that the fact that Liverpool seem to, though they've not only got one way to play, they can play other ways, but we know the way that they want to play. And they want to play a little bit high tempo, and they want to be attack-minded, and they want to get that extra goal. If they get one more goal, again, as Kev, I think, just said there, they'll probably go through. But it's not a foregone conclusion. There's no way it's a foregone conclusion. And have a look at their opponent's record at home, by the way. They don't lose many goals either. So it was that horrible moment when, it was 5-1 and you're thinking, yeah, it's still cool, it's still fine. And then it goes 5-2 and there's just a little seed of doubt. I mean, Liverpool are a brilliant team. Liverpool haven't lost a game in the Champions League this season. They're still massive favourites, but it's not done and dusted.
Let's talk a little bit about how good they were then in that first half and just how good that campaign has been as they've grown into the tournament as well. It looked for 75, 80 minutes that it was going to be one of those historic statement performances from a super club matching anything that any of their predecessors have ever done.
Yeah, I thought it was, I'd call it magical. I think it was a magical night. Anyone who's played at Anfield against Liverpool knows that feeling. It's just like a tsunami. It's coming towards you. It's the players, it's the fans, it's the occasion, it's everything. It just feels as if they've got 17 players in the field and you've got 7. It's a horrible feeling. And by the way, all their players are hell of a good as well. So the whole thing was like one of the great nights at Anfield. Got to see a lot of it's with the fans. They built it up before the game. They kept the noise levels up. They noticed the bits where, the opposition have the ball for short periods of time and the booing and the hassle that they were giving them, and then that helps their own players. So it does rate right up there. All the great nights. There's a semi-final of the Champions League. Of course it rates up there with the great nights. And then you add on top of it, Salah's obvious. Salah's just stupid. I'm beginning to wonder if he's actually really human at the moment. It's just so brilliant. He gets the ball on that left foot with that one he puts it into the top corner. And I bet you felt the same, Jay. You're thinking, he's going to score here. I know you're like 20 yards out. I know you're at a corner. I know you're at a terrible angle. But you're going to put that in the top back corner. And that's extraordinary. But you add the other stuff that was going as well. James Milner, as I understand, isn't in the England squad I mean, what? Are you joking? He was absolutely extraordinary. And just going by the right, but Firmino as well. I mean, he just gets better and better and better. You could go on and on and on about it, but I would say one thing. The way they won back the ball and played at that tempo, which is Jurgen Klopp's concept, and then the way they held the ball, the bravery to do that, absolutely. That's up there with the great Liverpool teams.
Pat, we heard a little bit about the response from Klopp when the offer for Coutinho came in, and apparently he laughed and went, yeah, absolutely, he's going to be the most expensive sub in the world. There is a sense, though, that this has been a significant season of evolution, even from Klopp, when you think about the decision to spend the money on Virgil van Dijk. But you mentioned James Milner. Milner was a fullback last season and a really good, proficient fullback, but yet he was still a fullback in this team because that's where Klopp thought he was best suited. He has learned as well. He has become a better manager over the last 12 months.
Yeah, I would say so. But then you have to learn the kind of Premier League way as well. You have to learn the abilities of your players. If you have a look at what's happened even to Pep Guardiola, he's improved, hasn't he, over this season, because he's had a season in English football as well, and understanding these players and developing them. And bringing one or two in, Van Dijk makes a massive difference, as you say, coming in. So, huge difference.
How and why?
How and why? For Liverpool, why Klopp's got better?
Yeah.
Well, I just think learning. I think learning the English game, learning the capabilities, the players learning what he wants. It's easy to say, yes, go out there and just play a game of football. But you say, right, I want you to close down there. And when he closed down first, you need to be right behind him. And by the rest of the team, you do exactly the same thing. You have to come along and cover in a certain way. And while you do it, don't leave any gaps at the back. Then look at, every single player. Is he capable? Is Moreno capable? Possibly not. Have we got anyone else? You get that boy Robertson for a song. Is he capable of doing that and playing with such arrogance last night? Yes, last night. Would he have been capable of doing the same level last season? He was a good player, but, Hull City, maybe he wasn't. But he's grown. So they're all grown into, they're all meshed together, they've all bought into it together. They've all reacted phenomenally to the manager's personality as well. And you've got to say, that's a big thing as well. The tactics that they're using just now aren't complicated. They're not over-sophisticated. It's a high press at certain points of the game. This is not new. This has been used since I watched it happen in the 80s. It's happened before. But you marry that with getting the ball back and then playing how they play with Salah and with Firmino and with the attacking lightning quick wing backs. I mean, the whole thing has knitted together phenomenally well. And you say, why is it better this season than last season? I'll be honest with you, I watched Liverpool last season. I thought, well, they're a good team and they might knock on the door of the top four. Never for a second thought they would get this far because I didn't think they would improve that quickly. And then you stick on top of that, and this is where you're asking me, but let's be honest, nobody knows anything. Did you really feel that Liverpool could keep this going after they sold Coutinho? I mean, I didn't. I mean, I thought, well, there's no way that, that the three front men will stay fit and on form for this period of time. There's got to be a wee bit of luck in that as well. But on top of that, you think he must have believed in his players and his capability of his players. Because how many people have you asked in the past about teams that tire at the end of the season? Well, have a look at Liverpool. They're playing that high tempo. Did they look tired apart from those last 10 minutes last night? No, they didn't. You asked me how he does it. I don't know. It's just really hard.
Well, just on that, is this sustainable, or should the Liverpool fans think of this as a beautiful unicorn season that they need to enjoy every second of?
Great question, to be honest. You look at Salah. I mean, can you keep that level up? If you keep that level up that he's kept this year, you are alongside Messi and you are alongside Ronaldo. If you keep that level up year on year on year. Now, we've seen lots of players who've had a phenomenal season, and then they've had good seasons after that. Very good players, but a season where it sparkles beyond belief. Now, that's Salah just now. That's to some degree one or two other players in the team you might think of as well. There's certain players like Henderson's improving. There's no doubt about that. Milner, I was going to say he can't go on forever, but I'm beginning to question that, to be honest. They need to add. I mean, realistically, they must add a little bit more depth. You have a look at their bench, and it's a distance away from what it has to be, the very, very top teams. No matter how you take care of players, no matter how you train them, and how good your physio and your medics are, you'll get injuries, and you'll get injuries to important players. At the moment, I don't think Liverpool can afford that, but they've not had that many. It will happen. This is a World Cup year. Some of those players are going to be playing the World Cup. They're going to be tired next season. So can they do it next season? Yeah. With the same group? No. They need more numbers. And I think they'll get them. He's capable of getting them. And the decisions that Klopp and the group has made so far have been very good.
Yeah, there's certainly more hits than misses so far in the transfer market. You are in Munich, as far as I can make out. You're there for the game between Munich and Real Madrid tonight. Another one where I'm not entirely sure I know exactly what's going to happen, but it feels like both sides should be scoring goals this evening.
Well, oddly enough, yeah, you're right, I am in Munich. I've actually seen Real Madrid quite a lot this season. It's really weird. I mean, I've just been sent across to see them, and I've watched them away from home a lot of the time. Now, it started off, I was down at Wembley to watch them playing Spurs, and I thought, well, that team's past it. They look terrible, and I thought a lot of people felt the same. They're a great team, you know, the great run that they run in the Champions League for the last couple of years, but they just looked disjointed. They didn't. I mean, Spurs made them look old and tired and past it, and then they had a terrible season by their standards in La Liga, and you think, well, that looks as if it's gone. They need to completely rebuild that team, and then they just spent all their time and all their efforts in the Champions League, and slowly but surely they've come back into it. I was in Paris for the PSG game, and once again I thought the tactics were great. It's not the first thing you always say about Zidane, but the tactics were fantastic. And then over to Turin for that overhead kick that night, and I couldn't believe what they did to Juventus over there. You know, because you watch Ronaldo walk out, and they've said it a few times now, but maybe no more so than that night in Turin. He walked out, the entire peacock look, the chest out, the kind of, right, everybody in this whole stadium, I want you looking at me all the time, and if you're not looking at me, there's something wrong. And they booed every touch he had, except for one, when he overhead kicked it and smashed it into the top corner, and they stood and they applauded him. And just watching it that night, it wasn't just Ronaldo, because others were. Marcelo, again, he looked really, really sluggish back in the early times of this campaign, but he just looked world class again. So they time it. They're top players, and they decide when they fancy doing it, and they look as if they fancy doing it. And if I had to call it just now, I can't believe I'm saying it, I'd call this tie absolute favourites of Real Madrid. Even though you look at where Bayern are in the league, they're absolutely hammering the Bundesliga. Lewandowski's goal scoring is extraordinary. You've got Robin, you've got Ribery, you've got Müller, you've got phenomenal players. It comes to this point in time and you look, Real Madrid know how to do this, and they time it, and they just save themselves for this. But a lot will depend on what happens tonight. It's a game over here at the Allianz. We know that Bayern are going to be really confident there. They really believe in themselves there. But in this, and I really want this game to be wide open and something still, on it for the second leg. Having said that, the way this Champions League going into this season, if it's 5-2 or 4-1 or 3-0, still open for a second leg, and it won't even matter who to.
Yeah, no, for sure. Pat, enjoy the game tonight. Thanks a million for joining us.
I'm looking forward to it. See you later.
That's it.